Hello and welcome to another episode from the Real Talk and Revenue podcast. We have myself, Francesca, the accountant, and we have Jordan, the therapist, and we bring real powerful conversations around building revenue, building confidence, how the mindset works, all different discussions around to help others in business and in their personal life. So listen in, let us know what you think, ask questions along the way, and we'll be sure to answer them. Enjoy. Everyone's been poorly.
Yeah, I was just saying sorry to everyone listening because I will be coughing intermittently as I have been for the last few episodes.
What, like a dry cough that
It is a tickly cough.
Oh,
you know, one where like you try and hold it in and then you're like... And it's even worse. I had to get out of bed at like 4:30 and 5. So Hallie had come into our bed. I had to rush out of bed because it like came up. And I was like, if I wake her up.
Oh, that's the worst.
So I had to run to the landing. I got a towel and was like...
Actually hurt your own throat.
It's horrible. And I said to George, sorry, John, I'm getting a spare room because non-stop coughing.
Or it's been in a meeting and your voice cracks and breaks because you're coughing or you need to cough.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're like...
I know.
It's not a good one as a therapist either because trying to talk and all of a sudden I'm just like...
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
I can't stand being ill, as you can imagine, because it stops me a little bit. But I did rest and recoup, and it's only because I went to High Rocks last weekend.
That's why we didn't meet on Saturday.
Yeah, and I was meant to go out for a curry on Friday night, and that never happened. But then I thought, no, it's fine. I need to do this, and I felt better for it. Yeah. A good rested weekend, even though I ran over 13 kilometres, but really chilled and steady on my own. Yeah. And it was sunny. Yeah. I waited till Sunday afternoon, so that's a good long. Yeah. So that was good. Here she goes. Get it out.
Sorry everyone. You can relate.
I'm really excited because we are at nearly 750 downloads.
That's our next little milestone on Buzzsprout.
It is. Have you seen it?
Yeah, where it gives you we get a badge, everyone. So please keep downloading.
Keep downloading. I don't know if it's Spotify downloads or all over.
I think it's across the board.
Across the board. That's really good to know. Spotify's the most popular, isn't it?
It's the only. I think maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't.
Or Apple.
We need to be able to see the statistics because you can listen without downloading.
I know. It's a bit like.
Good to see, but I've not worked out how we can see that yet.
Yeah. It's a bit a bit like YouTube where people can listen but don't subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. But we can't see those stats yet, can we? We can see downloads, but...
Even on YouTube, though, to be fair, they are doing well. People like to watch, visualise. Yeah. So if you're watching, hi, I'm doing a wave. But our shorts, Bella started putting them on there. So our short clippings of the YouTube that Darren kindly edits. Yeah. They've done like 500 odd views on them. Yeah. So shorts are actually doing decent on YouTube. So we're going to put more on there. But it's just, honestly, we've said this loads of times. I have learned so much over the 5 years of marketing, more than ever. Yeah. I started years of winging it. And it's so... And I want more people to wing it.
And things are ever changing. I think that's the thing as well. Like, you get comfortable and confident with one thing and one platform. Yeah. And then something shifts and changes and everyone's like, there's this new thing out. Yeah. Or reels aren't a thing now. Or you need to be doing this and that. Or it's a carousel. To be fair though, like, you've just been consistent in doing your own thing, haven't you? Like, you've not necessarily had to keep up with trends, have you? I
haven't kept up with any trends as such, but what I'm doing is being, what's the word?
More strategic?
More strategic. Yeah. That's a good way of saying it, actually.
But actually, and I think a lot of people, like a lot of marketers online and stuff like that will say yes to a strategy, but again, the word you hate, authenticity over trying to just latch onto every trend because that's not sustainable all the time, is it? Exactly. Just fall in line with trends, whereas if you're consistently just showing up in a way that feels comfortable and good to you, even though you might be pushing yourself out your comfort zone, you're more likely to continue to do that rather than like do a trend and then...
I know. Yeah. And it's interesting because I did something for someone not so long ago. And he said, I only post on there just for business and not really post anything. And when you tag someone in something that you've done for them and they completely ignore it, and this is, I don't know, I'm just going to say it the truth. If you will get people that just let you down when it comes to marketing, or you will get those ones that don't actually want to be your mate.
Yeah.
They don't actually want to be friendly with you. They just want you for business.
Yeah, like they're using your platform and status.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that it's a turn off in business, isn't it? It's like we were talking about last week, and people just cold call in your DMs on LinkedIn, and I was saying like,
do you have synergies with me?
I don't know what it is. Do you know what I mean? But like
jump on a 15-minute call and let's have a chat. Why am I putting an American accent?
I don't know. But I just find like you connect with someone, then immediately you get this message. I've just done this and that, like come and I'm like, I get it, but also like I don't know you. Like I don't know you. Isn't there something about like developing that relationship? Like rather than me like knowing you like a week or two and coming up and going, oh Fran, I've got this new thing. Can you talk about it?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hang on. That's not fair, is it?
So our advice. Stop spamming inboxes coldly. You might get 1 in 1,000 that reply, and it might work, but actually your efforts are better off spending on relationship building.
They are, and I just feel like that's the icky part of marketing. Everyone starts to feel like, oh, you don't want to be that person. It's all right posting consistently and like messaging people in your community that you've curated a relationship with, but
when they're in your local area, did they resonate with one of your videos?
Yeah.
Did they comment on a video? Did they like it? Did they like a few? Do you like a few of theirs? Then you might want to inbox.
Yeah.
And then say, oh, how's your day going? Or just let you know about this. Help someone out.
Yeah, that's it.
Ugh, gets me.
Add value, I think people always say, don't they?
Stop dropping into our inboxes. We're not interested. Look how nasty I'm getting. I love it. We love it, really. There was something I was going to lead on to. I know what it is. So we try and do some sort of topics, don't we, around our podcast, but we try and keep it.
On a massive tangent.
We do our tangents because that's what people like to hear about, what we're up to as well as
and it's just how our brains work, isn't it?
In real life, it is, to be honest. And I put a subject line about how others can make us feel. And that sounds really random. I do this sometimes, write a note and go, oh yeah, I really get what I'm saying there.
I can't remember why we'd said that.
Basically, I hear it. I've heard it with clients, or I've heard it with my kids, or friends and family, or whatever. They've made me feel guilty, or they've made me feel bad, or they've done this to me. And it's almost like, and I've learned over the years, and it's definitely not easy. I'm very good at saying it. It's hard to do it for yourself, but they've made me feel guilty, and I'll go, no, they haven't. You've made yourself, you're making yourself feel guilty. And how do you... It's interesting, isn't it?
It is, yeah, because even if somebody's like saying something to get a certain response from you, like say Saturday you say, can you do Monday? If I'd have gone, oh no, I can't do Monday. I was really, really hoping to see you on Saturday. I've really been waiting for that chat.
Yeah. What would I have done?
You'd have been like, don't worry, then I can come.
But that's a friend. That's different.
It is.
But I get what should I have done?
You should have gone, oh, I know, I'm so sorry. I'm just really run down at the minute. So name another date next week that works for you and we'll reschedule to then.
Yeah.
You're telling me you're not feeling well. You're not up to it. You need some time. Like, I need to respect that. Me being disappointed.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
And me, like, putting that on you.
That is that manipulation.
Well, it is emotional, subtle, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just me being like, oh, I'm really disappointed, friend. Like, I can't, please just meet me.
Yeah.
But that's wrong of me as well. If I was to say that, that's not right because you're saying to me, like, and I know you're a person that doesn't reschedule willy-nilly either.
Nope.
But then it's on us then, isn't it, to respond. Like you say, well, guilt might be activated.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad. She's making me feel really bad about cancelling. Okay, I do feel bad, but is that fair? No, I need this time. I'm communicating that.
Yeah.
Actually, I want her to respect that. So I'm going to say, I know, sorry again about that. Pick a date next week. What works for you? And I'll see what I can fall in line with as well. Mutual respect. But like you're talking about someone making us feel guilty because of their response or guilt being activated in us because of what's going on around us or whatever emotion it is. It's speaking to something about us, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's so interesting.
And for people like us, it's often guilt because we're people pleasers or have historically been people pleasers. So there's always going to be guilt in, because the rule is I should put other people before myself.
Yeah.
So you have to do work, and this is the work I do day in, day out with clients around deciding on new rules. Actually, it's important for me to focus on my needs first, because then other people get the best out of me.
Yeah, it's like, so true, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? It's that classic, like, putting your own mask on first, filling your cup first, whatever analogy you want to use.
Same with the kids, though, when you have to own your rules as a parent, and not go off like the child crying because you've given them a decision on something, making you, and they will try and make you feel bad because that's, even though they don't understand.
Yeah.
But one day they will. Mm-hmm. So, for example, I've got a bit of a household rule around too many people around, boyfriends and girlfriends and all this, that, the other. I don't want to say too much because I feel like, I don't know, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm like the mum and dad. Yeah. I'm a bit strict like that.
Yeah.
And that should be okay.
Yeah.
But there's elements of when they go, why?
Yeah.
The kids go, and you'll have it with Harry, why can't I? My friend allowed parents let me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like,
and then it's easy to snap back then though, isn't it? Because you feel criticised.
Yeah.
I don't care what your friend's parents say.
Yeah, was you there? Yeah. It's so true.
It's my house.
Yeah, it's my rules and whatever. And then 10 minutes later I'm like, oh my God, I need to change my mind, and I need to change it quick. And then I have to talk myself out of not changing my mind.
Yeah.
But I know many parents will feel soft to then go, okay. Even if, with broken families.
Yeah.
So Steve's, got separate with his ex, and I've got broken, separated. So when they've got different rules.
Yeah. Yeah, it's even harder to navigate.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
But again, you can't go off how others feel.
No, you can't. You're operating from your own values and your own beliefs, what's important to you as a parent. I think as well, like, as long as you can kind of rationalise it to your kids, like, why are you making that decision? Like, no. Like, this is why I make this decision. Like, you might not agree with it, and I understand that.
What about when you say to your kids, and I haven't done this?
Yeah.
Because I said so.
That's not good enough.
It's not, is it?
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
You can't respond with because I said so.
It's not good enough.
Can you imagine hearing that as a child?
Well, I think we've all heard it, and it's just outright frustrating.
Yeah.
It doesn't teach you anything.
No.
All it teaches is you're trying to exert power over me because you're a parent. I've got no autonomy and control, which you don't have as children anyway. Like, that's just how it is.
I may have said it.
But being able to explain, like we all say things in the heat of the moment, but to be able to sometimes go back and correct and be like, do you know what? And even if it's your own stuff, even if you're like, maybe their parents do, but listen, I like a calm house. Like, I like to set a calm scene. I like it to be like our space, our family space for everyone. Don't mind it now and again, but, once a week's fine, or once a month's fine for me. When you've got your own place, or, when it's your rules then, and like, I have to respect your rules. But it's not a case of like, this is how I like things. It's just saying like, sometimes I'll compromise, but this is something that at the minute I'm saying no, because I just don't feel up to it, if that's okay. Like, I'm sorry, I know it's disappointing.
Yeah. That's spot on. It's
and also you can't always reason with children and teenagers. Like, they're still probably going to kick up a fuss, and it's a case of being like, look, I've told you why, my stance isn't changing. You know why, it's not just because I've said so. Yeah. Like, it might not feel fair. Sorry about that, but I'm sticking to what I've already said. So don't ask me again. And
it's so interesting because when you do say it like that, which I have, it doesn't get asked again. And it doesn't. I'm really, really grateful that my two, although I'm not a perfect parent,
no one is.
I know I'm not, and I know I've frustrated them. I am probably a little bit, I'm not your typical, let's cook and stick and do Play-Doh, and I have never really, I did try.
Yeah.
It's just not something I could do.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's okay, but you almost feel like not a proper mum if you're not cutting and sticking and sitting on the floor constantly. I definitely did.
Yeah.
But I was my head was in the clouds with how I'm going to build a career, where am I going next? I feel lost.
Yeah.
Parenting didn't satisfy my full needs in life, I suppose.
Yeah.
But then I chose to have children young, and so you make your bed and lie in it, don't you? But I also think if you can really own your values, who you are, and I think a lot of people don't know what they are.
100%.
That's really worrying, but you can navigate it at whatever age.
And it's understandable as well. Like, I think people get to a certain age where they might feel a bit lost and a bit confused. Like, again, we spoke about before, maybe what you once believed would make you happy and content, you've kind of got there and it hasn't, and you're faced with having to reevaluate that and what that looks like and go and explore that for yourself. I know when one of my long-term relationships ended, I suddenly realised, I think so before like 27, in my whole 20s had been spent with a person. I like literally remember sitting back and thinking, I don't know who I am on my own. Like, I don't know who I am outside of a relationship. I don't know what I like to do on my own. I don't know how I like to spend my time on my own or who I like to spend my time with. And so I just set a goal of like, I'm just going to go and see them. I'm not going to try and do things because I think I should. Like, there's an element of that at times, but it was more like curiously trying to explore, right, I'll try things out. Like, I tried out like different exercise classes, like outdoor swimming, which I absolutely loved, and so I kept doing that because I enjoyed it. I loved it so much. It brought me so much fulfillment. But after a while, I found that really fun. Like, I feel like, and we were talking about this at the weekend actually with George's mum and sister about, you know, depending on your circumstances, the grass always seems greener. And we were saying, like, there's so much joy in being on your own in a way, because it's an opportunity to only have to think about yourself. Like, you don't have to think about anyone else's feelings or considerations, when you can be like, I want to do this, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to see my friend on this day. I'm going to the gym on this day. I spend my time here on this day. And like, it's true that no matter how healthy your relationship is, a healthy relationship is considering your partner and how they're going to feel in response to things you're doing. And also you have to invest some time in that relationship as well. So, you know.
But you don't need to just constantly think about their feelings.
No, of course not. But it's true that then you have kids, you have a partner, more responsibilities you have then, like a part of you then has to make a small investment in those different areas. So then the investment in yourself is smaller because, do you know what I mean? Which is just natural, it's normal. And again, I've gone on a tangent that I don't even know why or where, but
no, I get it.
It's one of those things we were talking about.
Because I remember, obviously, in our 20s as well, maybe even in my early 30s, it's so easy to do things that are detriment to your feelings but help others. And that's another thing you've got to catch yourself doing, is not owning your own values, because if you don't know who you are, you'll end up following a path that isn't for you.
That was it, values.
And fitting in, and fitting in. And it's interesting because, like, even in you're 32?
32 this year.
But you're so young, aren't you?
You keep saying that, but...
You are. But you won't feel it, because I didn't at that age.
Well, I mean, I know I'm young, but like...
At 32?
I feel like 30s is like... It's still young. But then again, like, arguably 40s is still youngish, isn't it? Where you're getting into midlife and 40s.
Stop.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to say you're so young, like, and when I was in my 20s, I'd have been like, fair enough, like, you're young.
Yeah, but you're not now.
I feel like I'm young, but I feel like I've had more experience and I'm more confident, and I feel like that comes with... I feel like your 30s, when you get your 30s, I don't know, maybe not for everyone, but for more people, the feedback I get in the therapy room and from my friends and stuff is you start to care a bit less about what others think about you, and it's more about knowing yourself better, knowing your values a little bit more, like starting to realise what's important to you and what isn't. Like, I feel like your 30s is more of that, less of people pleasing and...
that's interesting.
Still can stick around and exist, of course it can, and well into your 30s and 40s, like for some people, you know, 50s, like, but...
What was I, 30? I remember wanting to be married at 25, as you do when you're younger, and you give yourself... I gave myself all them stupid time scales. Then I was finally meant to get married when I was 33, so I got engaged at 32.
Right.
And then, obviously, a month before the wedding... I can't even believe I'm sharing this, but a month before the wedding, he decided... Well, he didn't decide. I made the decision to break it off because he was acting weird and changed and didn't love me anymore like he loved me, or blah, blah, blah. I don't really know. And this is another thing. It's all part of growth. But I was still people-pleasing then, because I think deep down, or man pleasing, deep down I knew it wasn't quite right. And it wasn't a healthiest relationship. And you know what? I am grateful that happened. He's not a bad person for it. I'm just going to say, and to be honest, I don't know, what is a bad person, I suppose, because I've said this before.
Maybe it's about intent.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's about intent, like going into situations knowing that you're going to manipulate to get a certain outcome.
And that's how
regardless of other people's feelings.
Yeah.
People can unintentionally do a lot of damage with their behaviour when they didn't set out to, and that's the thing that we have to take responsibility for. Like, do you know what? I was really confused. I didn't really know what I wanted, and in that, I've really hurt people, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
And you have to take responsibility for that. But I suppose, like, bad person, is it about, like, having bad intentions? Is it about, you know, like, intentionally manipulating others? Is it about intentionally
that's interesting
disregarding other people's feelings? I don't know.
To get their own
that kind of feels worse. I don't know. That's what came to me.
It was honestly.
Please let us know in the comments, or what does a bad person look like?
Is it just someone? It's bad boys, ones that, you know, go to jail. Not necessarily.
Is it about dishonesty? Because I think I've spoken a lot, like in dating and when my friends are dating and stuff like that. And more often than not, it's about like people not being transparent about what they want. Like on a surface level, it can be somebody that's like, yeah, I think I want a relationship, but really they don't. Like,
that's so true. He did not own who he actually was, I don't think. Yeah. That's so interesting.
So it's more about transparency. Like, okay, tell me the truth, and then I get to make decisions based on the answers you give me. Like, don't lure me into a false sense of security. Like, if you just want something casual, just say that. And then I can decide if I'm happy with that for now. Or actually, if I just want to move on and find someone that also has the same values as me. Like people deserve that opportunity, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's such 2018... This was just before I settled the business. And sometimes these sorts of things give you fire in your belly to like really push on, let's go sort of thing. And I felt like I did so much to help settle him with a career. I talked about my career a lot. Yeah. That actually removing that pushed me even further. The plan was already there. Like, I was already bettering myself. No one was stopping me. Yeah. I didn't meet Steve later on in life and go, I'll just change around. I'll go to bed later because that's what he does. Yeah. Or I will train just heavy weights because that's what he does. Yeah. I don't do that. And if you find yourself doing that, check it out. Check yourself. Yeah. If you are encouraged to go to do something positive, then that's probably a good thing. Yeah. But trying to drink because someone else drinks alcohol and you can't beat them, join them situation, which I've been in. Oh, I cringe when I think back. But if anyone's listened to this and has gone through a hardship, or you're feeling like you're changing yourself to you fit somebody else, or you even with parenting, for example, if you feel like you're just pleasing your kids because you don't like that uncomfortable feeling and tell them off, reach out to us, or just keep listening and we'll help navigate that. I really like helping that sort of situation because I've said this so many times. If all your personal life and worries are sorted, they're never going to be 100%. No, never.
There's always going to be something.
You'll progress.
New level, new devil.
New level, new devil. I love that. Say it. Can we say it together at the same time? Go. New level, new devil. Fills me with such a smile, that does. But yeah, and I've still got that wedding dress, right? I saw it.
Really?
Poor Steve, he probably thinks, get rid of that stupid dress.
No, he doesn't.
He don't care.
Knowing Steve, like, he probably doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't give a shit. I love how secure Steve is.
It's fantastic.
He's so manly. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. You know what I mean? He's so like, yes, owns himself. That's secure.
Like, secure in himself. Like, he knows that because you've got that wedding dress in the wardrobe, it has absolutely nothing to do with him and your relationship.
No, he'd probably chop it up with me, or take it out somewhere for me, or to the charity. Or if anyone's listening and wants a wedding dress at size 8 to 10, you can have it.
Hit me up.
Yeah, you can have it, or a charity or whatever. Let me know, because that is a bane of my life. It's there. It took me a while to relook at it though, but not because this is interesting, right? I'm laughing about it now, but at the time, I don't think people knew at the time how distraught I was, because I'm so good at being positive, moving on, carrying on with my day. But I was humiliated. Yeah. And I felt like I'm no good at relationships because why would I? No one wants to marry me. Can't even get married at 33.
Yeah.
Took me till I was 39. If someone had told me that in my 20s, and they probably did, doesn't matter if you get married in your 40s, I'd have been like, no, why am I left on the shelf? But the issue was me. Yeah. I know that sounds really weird, but I realised that it's actually my own issue.
Often it is, isn't it? And it's not to say like it's our own fault or
it's not
blame.
A fault.
It's just around like what we're willing to accept and what we tolerate for ourselves.
And that fantasising.
Yeah.
And romanticising something that wasn't real.
I suppose that's the thing, when you're blindly following an ideal, like marriage, to somebody who's seemingly like perfect in some way, or it's the perfect, objectively wedding image, etc., we so easily overlook really important, fundamental, potential red flags.
So true.
Because we're blindly following this ideal. Like, that's in sight. That's what we really want. That's our goal.
Yeah.
Everything else can just move aside because it's going to happen.
I know.
And that speaks to that part of us that has placed that as a priority, doesn't it?
Yeah. You know what I find myself doing now? If one of my friends tell me something about somebody, their partner, or someone's upset, I'm very quick to go, nah, get rid. You know, I wouldn't say that out. Not exactly. I'm being blatantly honest here. And that's probably from a few of my experiences and that wisdom.
It is. It's from experience, but it's also from objectivity.
Yeah.
Where you're not in the situation, so you can see it with much more clarity than a person that's emotionally invested. Exactly
that. And nobody of your friends will sit and tell you the good things.
No, you hear much less of that because they're going to use you as a sounding board for frustrations and the niggles and stuff like that.
It's interesting because I had a friend years and years ago that would never speak anything ill of her partner or boyfriend at the time. Yeah, I would have my little moans and normal grumbles. Yeah. So there's normal grumbles that I think you can have a laugh with. Yeah. Oh God, they left this and they did that.
Yeah.
But they never ever said anything. And after some time it did come through and it didn't work out.
Right.
But I don't get that.
Well, for some people, they will struggle to like moan about things or let on that something's not good, because naturally, like we all do to a degree, like we don't want our friends to not like our partners, like friends and family. We don't want them to not like our partners, so we're not gonna, say really bad things that might impact that long term. So often we can keep things to ourselves for that reason, and some of it can be because you're not ready to admit it to yourself yet, because sometimes once you do, it means that you feel you're gonna have to do something about it.
True.
And that scale is, like different for everyone. So for someone it might be a case, well, I can't say anything bad because else it means the relationship's not perfect. That's the extreme end. And then the other end is like, I'm moaning about absolutely everything, like everything's terrible. And like you said, then the average might be like just venting to your friends about funny, normal, like day-to-day things that you're navigating in a long-term relationship.
It's interesting because of the way my brain works. I've been let down. Yeah. That's the same. So even with like Steve, I can catastrophize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
we don't even fall out. He's hard to fall out with, Steve, which is, I like that. But sometimes I want a good falling out.
There you go. Yeah.
And you can't fall out with him. So then I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this then? Because I'm probably used to like a big drama, even though I don't want drama at my door. I'm not saying that.
No.
He is definitely like my calm space.
Yeah. Consistent.
If I'm I notice, we were laughing, if I try and wind him up a little bit, he'll just ignore me. So then I get bored. He's ever so good.
Yeah.
If not being let in to that scenario that I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think I have too much energy for him. You can imagine, can't you?
It's just funny though.
Yeah, and we do laugh about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just go, Steve, and he'll go, yep, and then I don't say anything. How annoying is that? But and then I'll do a giggle, and then he'll be like, oh, and then he won't give anything away because he's not playing.
No.
I love him. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
But that is a nice if you can, like anyone listening, if you can truly work on yourself and own that something's not right somewhere, but look internally first, you'll be so much in a better place.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that uncomfortable pain.
It is.
And I tell you, I went through pain that year. It was like, I wish I'd known you. When I look back, I know that sounds sad, but I genuinely wish I'd known you and like Laura, Claudia, my sister. Oh my God, and my other sisters, Chintzia. They, of course they were.
Yeah.
But with friendships, I just think, oh God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's important who's around you, isn't it?
But I also still have that trait where I so much want to make others feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That I can't show my true pain. Because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable around me. So I was very good at putting my face on. I even went, right, on my hen do. So we split up the week before my hen do was due. And because I couldn't deal with letting people down, did I never tell you this?
No.
I went on my hen do.
That's horrific.
It was
knowing you weren't going to get married.
Knowing I wasn't going to get married. I didn't sleep. I probably slept an hour or two the whole 2 nights that we went. Because everyone had paid for it, because it was a week before. Yeah. The minibus picked me up, and I was smiling away. Internally, it was like, oh, you're so strong, and you can do this. And what I noticed on there, a couple of friends, and that would just stay out late. They didn't come back when I wanted to go back.
Yeah.
They just cracked on. They went for their own little mini breakfast the next morning.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I just knew that weren't true friends. And I just knew, it was you know what, I'm not going to lie, I did have some smiles that weekend, as in laughter, but why did I do that? It was torture internally. I didn't really let anyone else know that. I was smiling for the photos. But actually, maybe it's, I don't know if it's a good thing or not. And even going to my first wedding in the June, 3 months after.
Yeah.
You have to almost get back on the saddle, they say, if you fall off. And that's how I dealt with it. And I remember going with a friend. Here I go again with these, what do you call them? I don't know, inverted commas. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Went with her, and she just went off at this wedding and left me on my own at the reception. And it was a bit like, oh, right, okay, this is, and I cried, got my other friend to pick me up, and I cried all the way home. Yeah. Because it was just like, putting my face on. Yeah. And the other friend at the time, we don't see each other now, she did apologise the next day for leaving me. And you just got me a drink, and I just walked off. She hadn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
When I wouldn't do that.
More.
Yeah, I needed more.
At that time as well.
Yeah. She would have had no idea, because I've probably turned up smiling and owning it in my little dress and looking like I've got all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
But because I'm an empath and it's a different, I don't know, it's so good to let this out.
It's hard, isn't it? Because it's like we said before, when you wouldn't put other people in that position, there's this part of you that expects that other people are going to show you the same, like, care.
I couldn't believe it,
And other people's brains don't operate like that. Yeah. So, not all the time. So they do. And it's like when I was talking about the friend that, like, I used to pay for to go out sometimes and stuff like that, and then didn't return that favour, but like bought, clothes or whatever. And it's like the betrayal, like, oh my God, I would have never done that to you.
I can't believe
and you've done that to me. Like, these small situations, they have such a profound impact, don't they? Like, but then objectively, when you've got a bit of distance, when you've grown as a person, you can see, like, it's not like there was malice there. It just kind of like doesn't align with your values.
No.
Like you say, they've not necessarily done anything massively wrong.
No, they haven't.
And neither are you wrong for hoping for and expecting more from that friendship. So again, it's a good indicator, isn't it? Like, I don't think our values really align when it comes to like friendship and the investment that needs. So I'm gonna maybe search for friends that are more aligned elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's hard at that age though, isn't it? Because you're like, where am I going to find friends? Like,
I know.
I'm going to meet other people like that. Everything just feels so
lonely.
Yeah, and like fixed and permanent and like, I
felt so lonely. And I've learned so much about myself from that time. Because I think, God, how did I get in that situation? And why did I put myself in that environment to go to a wedding afterwards? It's like, I think I had 6 weddings to go to that year.
That's horrendous.
I was bridesmaid twice.
Wow.
In that same year.
Yeah.
It was even my mum's wedding.
Yeah.
Even my mum got married that year.
Yeah.
That was not till October later on. Yeah, very interesting year, 2018. But then I plotted and planned, worked my absolute butt off at Duncan and Topless to get to the situation that I'm in 2019, setting up a business and whatnot.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first year was the best year of my life. It was like, yeah, look at me now. Look at what I'm doing. And when you are posting stuff on social media and you know you've got an ex probably going to see it. Yeah. Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. And even like past friends.
Oh, yes.
That, kind of would take like, I don't know, pleasure in like slagging you off or picking at you in some way.
Oh, 100%.
Like, yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
So it is hard. So what's happening with your business then? Have you been on it with social media? You just fully booked with your one-on-ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully booked with one-on-ones at the minute. And then last Friday had a couple more meetings about our retreat days that are coming up this year. Yeah. We've found a venue that we're going to go with that we're really happy with, but we've had to change the dates to suit what availability the venue had, which is fine. Yeah. So it's good though, because it means that we've got costings in place now to know how much ticket's going to be for a day. We just need to firm up like the structure and how we want to run things. And
can you say where it is?
Perusia. It's like a retreat venue.
Oh, right. Where's that?
It is local. I actually don't know exactly where it is.
It's local to Newark?
Yeah, it is local. Yeah.
I feel like I have heard of it now.
Yeah, Leslie, who I'm running the retreats with, she's done a wellbeing retreat there before.
Yeah.
But we were toying with other ideas, but they were mainly like wedding venues and stuff, and they've come back with figures that are more in line with like weddings. Yeah. Just not suitable for like a day with 10 to 12 people. Like, exactly. So, but it's a really beautiful venue. That's what they're set up for. So we're really excited about that. So we know how much we're going to charge. I just need to pull together some bits now so we can put it out there and start.
Does it make you feel uncomfortable?
Yes. Yeah, like I'm slightly like now, sat here now. If you were to speak to me the day before, I'll be more nervous than I am now. What you mean. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it because I know that doing something like that really aligns with my values and something that I know I'll love doing. I'm going to get a lot from, and I know that other people will as well. So I know it's something that, like, I'm not doing it to suit anyone else's agenda or just to make money or this or that. Like, for me, it's something really, really, like, meaningful, fulfilling, valuable. Like, I'll absolutely love it. But the night, I'm sure the day before, maybe the week before, I'll be really nervous about how it'll pan out, how I'm going to feel, what might come up and how I can respond to that. But I would say like I'm fairly confident in my abilities as a therapist most of the time. So I'm just going to try and remind myself of that.
I know that you've got this and you can do hard things and you're doing it for us and you're going to help. You're going to help so many others by doing these retreats. Yeah. But it's still
in a more accessible way.
Yeah.
As well. It's still not as accessible as I'd like it to be, like, for everyone, but, that can be challenging at times, can't it?
Yeah.
But I'll be working on more projects around that, maybe in the future. But yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. So more to follow on that.
Yeah, we'll tell you more about that. I'm just thinking about, I'm going to London for a couple of days.
Yeah.
This week. I'm trying to think what else. Well, I've got I applied to speak at an event in London as well.
Yeah, you said about that. Have you heard back yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I want to do more public speaking. You know what? I did 2 videos. So this is how easy you can bash out 2 videos. I say that because I've done loads.
I was about to say, like, you're used to it now.
The ones I'm doing now, though, are the ones that need editing. Whereas I used to never edit.
Yeah.
I say they need it. Not necessarily. But to be honest, and I can't believe I'm going to blow my own trumpet here, right? There's a video coming out tomorrow. So that's going to be Tuesday, the 4th of Feb. So if you're listening to this towards the end of Feb when this comes out, go and find it on LinkedIn. It's about procrastination. Try saying procrastination 3 times. Go.
Procrastination.
I struggle. Honestly, so I make a joke.
It's a weird word.
It's a really weird. I don't like the word.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily the word. Like I just don't like the word.
Yeah.
You hear it a lot, and I've given tips and a few things that help me. Yeah. Basically, but the way I've done the video is what I'm getting at. Oh God, I'm cringing now. Poor Bella. I played the camera in the car and I was singing and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to add these bits to it.
Yeah.
Bella can look at it, see what she thinks, because that's my style all over from back in the day.
Yeah. And
she's done a good job of it. I do cringe hard, but I think it'll make someone smile. I'm letting you cough. Oh. I do think it'll help make someone smile, because even Dan listening in, when I had to re-watch it, he chuckled to himself. And there was a bit in it that I thought, Bella, I said the procrastination wrong. And then I resaid it, but she kept it in. Yeah. Because it sounded like, she even put struggling to say the word or something. Yeah, and I was a bit like, oh. I don't know if I've already said this, and I do apologise if I have, but I think you get more sales when you are human and you make mistakes.
Absolutely.
So have I said this before about the sale of a smoothie machine?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure. Maybe not a smoothie machine, no.
Well, let's say it was a smoothie machine. Maybe I've heard this completely wrong, but in this smoothie machine, and a woman was doing it and spilt a lot of smoothie while she was making it. Yeah. And then someone else did it and did it perfectly. Right. The one that got the mistakes. Yeah. Just made more sales than the other professional looking.
Because I guess normal people could see themselves in her. Yeah. Like, okay, I can use that because rather than look at this. I'm really put together. Perfect. This product is for a person that's very put together, organised. Yeah. And in reality, who is that person? Exactly. Not consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
So I have left wrong words in before, I said it a bit wrong, laughed at myself, carried on. So what I was going to say is perfection. No, we may have said it in different ways, but even if you do make a bit of a mistake when you're doing your first videos, keep them in.
Yeah, just leave it.
Keep them in. Yeah. Even with your lives.
Yeah.
You know what you should have done as well with them? Because you did upload them, didn't you, after?
Yeah, most of them.
Could have chopped some of the snippets you said, but again, it's time.
I know. I need to do something like that again, really. Yeah. I want to do something like that again.
Yeah. It's, you know what I used to do, right? I've got a great idea, I'm going to do this. And the night before, I'm going to that event, the night before I'm like, oh, why did I book on? Yeah. But that's a fear, that's your mind keeping you safe. Yeah. You definitely need to still go and do the things. And then once you've come off it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do that again. And then the cycle repeats again. Yeah. That's why people, when they go networking, go once. Yeah. They'll say they're going again. And then they get to it and they're like, oh no, I don't know if it's going to be as good as last time. Or put fears, and your mind will try and keep you safe in your house. So the tip is, ignore those words. Yeah. Because your mind will tell you stuff to stop you, basically.
Absolutely. Keep you safe in your comfort zone.
Yeah. In fact, leading on to next week then, comfort zone. That's what we'll talk about.
We've spoken about it quite a few times, haven't we? But not dedicated a full.
Not dedicated a full.
Yeah, comfort zone with tangents incoming.
Yeah. Thanks for listening as always and joining in on our random.
Sorry about my coughing.
And the coughing.
It will continue, I imagine.
No.
Apologies.
We love you. Bye.